this brewery brewed a homebrew recipe. There was a competition for homebrewers to submit their beers to Elusive Brewing Company, and they chose the best one to brew at the brewery and produce and sell commercially. A really great competition, and the winner was Jerry Pringle with his Czech-style dark lager. So this is Nocturne Czech-style dark lager, a homebrew recipe brewed at the commercial scale by Elusive Brewing Company. And yeah, I'm going to give it a go today. So Czech-style dark lager, what the hell is that? Some people say that Czech-style dark lager is kind of like an American porter if it was fermented with like a Czech clean lager yeast. And that's a fairly good description. I mean, you're looking at kind of caramel malts, and you're also looking at dehusked roasted malts, so your Carafa specials. So that will produce like the dark color and the kind of toasty, caramelly, dark fruits, almost licoricey kind of flavors and aromas without going all the way to the stout level with that roasted barley, perhaps a bit astringent, a bit tangy kind of roasted barley flavor. So it is in that kind of way a kind of softer, cleaner, almost American style porter kind of beer, but it has a long-standing history going back hundreds of years in Czechia. So it's nothing new, but a really interesting style to win a competition like this. And apparently, I mean, according to the can, it's won a bunch of awards. So it is a long-standing and highly regarded recipe, despite it being at the homebrew scale. But an interesting note is that Elusive Brewing was started by a home brewer who won awards and went on to open this brewery, Elusive Brewing. And it is one of my favorite UK breweries, most notably because of their Oregon Trail West Coast IPA. But pretty much every beer I try from Elusive Brewing are really, really great. They kind of they make a range of like classic styles all the way to your modern styles, and I think their Oregon Trail West Coast IPA is the perfect example of the brewery. It is sitting right in the pocket of like your classic flavors and aromas, but kind of tuned to a modern palate, which is just really great. I love it. So looking forward to this one for sure. Not sure what to expect from a homebrew recipe, but if it's won a bunch of awards, it's going to be good, I reckon. They're saying pour it straight out of the fridge. So I've given it about 10-15 minutes because I don't know. I don't like pouring a beer straight out of the fridge. I think it strips all the flavor, but I don't know. I've not drunk many dark lagers, like Czech-style dark lagers, but yeah, I think you can just pour it after 10-15 minutes. It will be good enough. Let's give it a go. Nocturne, Elusive Brewing Company, collaboration with your home brewer, Jeff Pringle, or Jerry Pringle. Have I called him Jeff Pringle this whole time? All right, it looks a little bit like a dunkel. It's got a very thick tan head on it. Nice foam retention going on. It's got a bit of a kind of red hue to it. It's like a very, very kind of dark toffee mahogany color. So it's not black. It's not your kind of porter stout black. It is a very, very dark brown color. But it looks like a really nice beer. Interesting. Wow, just a really great aroma off that really nice smelling beer. It's got a really, really sweet, malty aroma. Not much in terms of hop aroma going on, just this beautiful, like caramelly, dark bread, dark toast. Almost, yeah, I guess a little bit of dark fruit in there as well. It smells almost like, I don't know, like a sticky toffee pudding or something, like something like a really dark kind of cake, sweet and complex, and like Maillard reactions, uh, toasted edges, you know, the sweet bread crust, that kind of stuff going on, like a complex decoction aroma. Bit of chocolate in there as well. Not quite as far as coffee, but for sure. I mean, I don't know what the malt bill is, but it seems like there is either chocolate malt or as far as your kind of Carafa special. Um, yeah, interesting. I imagine that this is kind of Czech Pilsner malt base. Then you're looking at some caramel malts, maybe Caramunics, Viennas, and then into your kind of chocolate malt, and possibly a tiny amount of a Carafa Special, maybe a Carafa Special 1. And that's why it's not like black. It's got like a beautiful dark mahogany color, and that's coming out in the aroma as well. It is really kind of sweet and toasty and biscuity and dark, but without getting to the kind of roasted side of dark. Smells like it's going to drink really well. Yeah, that's really nice. That is really nice. Yeah. Yeah, so a beautiful sweet taste, malt sweetness on that leans into a kind of like two aspects. One is a kind of dark fruits aspect, and the other is hinting on licorice, and then into a kind of roasted flavor that you expect from either a very, very light touch of roasted barley or from your dehusked kilned malts, so that the astringency is really stripped out, so it just leaves you with that kind of roasted edge without going too far. And then there is that beautiful balance with the lager yeast, which kind of crisps it up a bit and keeps it kind of clean in profile, despite all of that kind of flavor coming from those darker malts and perhaps a decoction if there is one. So it's got a really kind of great balance in that sense, and you really do kind of understand why some people say that a dark Czech lager is like an American porter with a Czech lager yeast fermentation, because it does drink very, very kind of forward in terms of those dark malts, but it is restrained and cleaned by that lager yeast profile. So a really interesting beer, actually. Um, it means that fruitiness is really coming from those darker malts, as opposed to anything that would be going on from an ale yeast. So you are really, it's a great opportunity to see where those darker kilned malts can take you in terms of that kind of dark fruit, licorice, really deep bread crust, dark bread crust notes. If you, I mean, there's a bread here in Finland that you eat. Really dark in color, and it looks like it's going to be kind of almost bitter to eat, but it's not. It's a really kind of sweet, almost fruity kind of bread, and that's similar to this. That's what this drink's like. So it's kind of clean, but then roasty, but rounded into a beautiful sweetness, and then this really nice dark fruit edge to it. So yeah, I can see why this recipe won a lot of homebrewing awards, and I imagine Mr. Jerry Pringle is very proud of it. Nice thing to do, actually. It's a good idea as a brewery, you know, kind of involving homebrewers, especially he was a homebrewer before he became the owner of Elusive Brewing. So it's quite interesting and something I might think about as I'm moving towards opening my own kind of brewery. And that's a nice idea for a competition, actually. One thing to say, actually, the best before on this can, I'd missed it because usually they're on the bottom of the can, but there's none of that. And I noticed it on a previous Elusive Brewing can like a few days ago that their best before is actually here on the bottom of the label, but it's not so obvious to see it. But this one was best before in November 2025, so that's why I'm drinking this today, because I was like, oh, missed the best before date. So this beer is tasting this good even kind of 6 weeks or so after the best before. But I mean, it is a dark lager, so it's not going to be as affected in terms of age as your kind of really hoppy New England IPA or whatever. I mean, it's in a can, and their oxygen control, I imagine, is really quite good. But you know, the hop profile can really dull as it gets older. That affects a more hoppy beer um, than something like a Czech-style dark lager. So I mean, uh, this kind of style beer is not really about the hops. There is supposed to be a bitterness presence, but it's supposed to be low to medium. And then in terms of kind of like hop aroma and hop flavor, it is really not supposed to be prominent. It is all about the malts in this beer. It is a marriage of dark malts with a clean lager yeast profile. So, I mean, it is hopped with SARS, and you might get a bit of that kind of flowery, kind of spicy element to the beer, but it is a kind of background note. So, in terms of the age of this, I don't think it will have affected it so much. But maybe if I drink this quite fresh, it would be a bit of a brighter beer, a slight more expression on the hop side. But I mean, as it's drinking now, it is really beautifully balanced. There is a decent bitterness there, but it's about a medium bitterness, and it is kind of playing second fiddle to that malt and that malty sweetness, and then that clean lager profile. So yeah, man, very nice beer. Elusive Brewing, Jerry Pringle, homebrew recipe, brewed on a commercial scale, worth a pickup if it's still available. Czech-style dark lager.